प्रभुपद जय राधा माधव राधा माधव राधे जय नृसिंहदेव 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 जय नृसिंहदेव जय गौरनिताय 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 जय गौरनिताय जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद शिला प्रभुपाद की गौर प्रेमानंदे। Readings from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 18. Parikshit cursed by Brahmana boy. So today we are going to see text 26. Before getting into the text, we will chant the auspicious invocation prayers. I will chant, please try to repeat. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Nigamakalpatarorgalitam phalam Sukhamukat amrita dravasamyutam Pibata Bhagavatam rasamalayam Muhuragho rasika bhuvibhavkaha Narayanam namaskritya Naranchaiva narottamam Devim saraswatim vyasam Tato jayam mudirayet Nashtaprayesha bhadreshu Nityam bhagavata sevaya Bhagavatyuttama shloke Bhaktir bhavati naishtiki pratiruddhendriya-prāṇa pratiruddhendriya-prāṇa mano-buddhim upāratam mano-buddhim upāratam sthāna-trayāt param prāptam sthāna-trayāt param prāptam brahma-bhūtam avikriyam brahma-bhūtam avikriyam pratiruddhendriya-prāṇa mano-buddhim upāratam sthāna-trayāt param prāptam brahma-bhūtam avikriyam pratiruddhendriya-prāṇa mano-buddhim upāratam sthāna-trayāt param prāptam brahma-bhūtam avikriyam pratiruddhendriya-prāṇa mano-buddhim upāratam sthāna-trayāt param prāptam pratiruddhendriya-prāṇa mano-buddhim upāratam sthāna-trayāt param prāptam brahma-bhūtam avikriyam pratiruddhendriya-prāṇa mano-buddhim upāratam sthāna-trayāt param prāptam brahma-bhūtam avikriyam Matajis. Pratiruddhendriya-prāṇa.
Sthāna-trayāt param prāptam.
Sthāna-trayāt param prāptam. Brahma-bhūtam avikriyam. Okay, Matajis. Pratiruddhendriya-prāṇa. Mano-buddhim upāratam. Sthāna-trayāt param prāptam. Brahma-bhūtam avikriyam. Pratiruddhendriya-prāṇa. Mano-buddhim upāratam. Sthāna-trayāt param prāptam. Brahma-bhūtam avikriyam. Pratiruddha, restrained. Indriya, the sense organs. Prāṇa, the air of respiration. Manaḥ, the mind. Buddhim, intelligence. Upāratam, inactive. Sthāna, places. Trayāt, from the three. Param, transcendental. Prāptam, achieved. Brahma-bhūtam, qualitatively equal with Supreme Absolute. Avikriyam, unaffected. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhachananda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Translation, please repeat. The Muni's sense organs, breath, mind, and intelligence were all restrained from material activities. And he was situated in a trance apart from the three: wakefulness, dream, and unconsciousness. Having achieved a transcendental position qualitatively equal with the Supreme Absolute. Purport. It appears that the muni in whose hermitage the king entered was in yogic trance. The transcendental position is attained by three processes, namely the process of jnana, theoretical knowledge of transcendence, the process of yoga, or factual realization of trance by manipulation of physiological and psychological functions of the body, and the most approved process of bhakti-yoga, or the engagement of senses in the devotional service of the Lord. In Bhagavad-gītā, we have information of the gradual development of the perception of matter to a living entity. Our material mind and body develop from the living entity, the soul, and being influenced by the three qualities of matter, we forget our real identity. The jnana process theoretically speculates about the reality of the soul, but the bhakti-yoga factually engages the spirit soul in activities. The perception of matter is transcended to still subtler states of senses. The senses are transcended to the subtler mind, and then to the breathing activities, and gradually to intelligence. Beyond the intelligence, the living soul is realized by the mechanical activities of yoga system or practice of meditation, restraining the senses, regulating the breathing system, and applying the intelligence to raise to the transcendental position. This trance stops all material activities of the body. The king saw Muni in that position. He also saw the Muni as follows, which will be described in the next text. Hari Om Tat Sat. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurudmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Mano-buddhim Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakada Mahyam Dadadi Sapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurun Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sakhagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parajana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sakhagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunnavadi Paschaityadasatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Devtaka Swamini Namne Namacharya Padaya Prabhupadaya Gauragata Damadaya Nagaragramatarini Mokam Karoti Vachalam Pandalangayate Grimit Kripatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinataranam Paramanandamadavam Sri Chaitanya Mishwaram Kathanchana Smrite Yasmin Dushkaram Sukaram Bhavet Smrite Pritam Syat Sri Chaitanyam Namamitam. Hare Krishna. So, in this verse it is stated that the Muni's sense organs, breath, mind and intelligence were all restrained from material activities. He was situated in a trance apart from the three, wakefulness, dream and unconsciousness, having achieved a transcendental position, qualitatively equal with the Supreme Absolute. So, Parikshit Maharaj, he went on a hunting expedition, and then suddenly he became very hungry and thirsty. He was looking for some water, and then he found one ashram of Saumika Rishi. So he entered that ashram, and now he wanted to ask for some water, but before that he saw the sage sitting in this position, in the position of trance, that by yogic meditation the sage had controlled his mind and senses and the intelligence, and he was focusing on the Supreme Absolute Truth. So therefore he did not have any external consciousness. He did not notice that the king had entered the ashram and the king was in a certain physical state and he may need some help. All these things he did not notice because he was not in his external consciousness. He was beyond the three stages of wakefulness, sleep and dream. So this is what is explained here. And Prabhupada very nicely explains in the Purport about the brahma-bhūta stage and what are the different systems of obtaining that brahma-bhūta stage. Brahma-bhūta means, bhūta means living entity. Brahma-bhūta means the living entity has meditated upon his original nature, because we have a nature and we think that whatever is our nature, I am a nice person, sometime I can get angry, I am a very peaceful person, or I am a disturbed person. Whatever we think about our nature, different people have different idea about their nature. But that nature is not our real nature. That nature is an acquired nature. Prabhupada mentions here that our material mind and body developed from the living entity, the soul, is being influenced by the three qualities of matter, and we forget our real identity. Currently, our nature has been influenced by the three qualities of matter. Prakriti kriyamanani gune karmani sarvasaha ahankara vimudhatma kartaham iti manyate. Krishna says in Bhagavad-gītā that all the activities are simply done by the influence of three modes of material nature, and the spirit soul is thinking, I am the karta, I am the doer, I have done this, I have done that. He has different type of ideas. And then he also has wrong ideas about his own identity. Indriyani paranyahur, indriyebhya param manaḥ, manasastu para-buddhe, yo buddhe parasastu saha. Krishna explains in the 3rd chapter, Bhagavad-gītā, that what is not our identity and what is our identity. Very nicely explains. This forms the basis of Sankhya Yoga. That analysis of the 24 elements, which is not our identity, and the 25th element, which is the spirit soul, which is our identity. Very nicely, Krishna explains in one sloka. Indriyani paranyahur. Senses are better than dull matter. Ahuhu, dull matter. What is better than dull matter? Senses are better than dull matter. Very, very difficult to understand. Very difficult to understand in Kali Yuga, this point, that senses are better than dull matter. Because the entire Kali Yuga education system is telling us that purpose of life is to acquire dull matter. What is the purpose of human life? Acquire dull matter. This is the purpose of human life. Acquire dull matter in the form of some currency note. Acquire dull matter in the form of building. Acquire dull matter in the form of car. Acquire dull matter in the form of gold. Acquire dull matter in the form of some share. Acquire dull matter, acquire dull matter, acquire dull matter. What is purpose of life? Acquire dull matter. Why do you want to acquire dull matter? If I have so much dull matter, I can be happy. What nonsense. Indriyani paranyahur. Senses are better than dull matter. Very basic thing. Very, very basic thing. Purpose of life is not to acquire dull matter. So, is purpose of life sense gratification because senses are better than dull matter? So, purpose of life should be sense gratification? No. Why? Indriyebhya param manaḥ. Mind is higher than intellect. Mind is higher than the senses. Mind is higher than the senses. Mind can think. Mind can deliberate. It can work in terms of thinking, feeling, willing. It can control the senses. Manashasthani indriyani prakriti-sthāni karshati. All the senses are being controlled by the mind. Shostram chakshuspashanam cha rasanam granam eva cha adhisthāya manaschāyam vishayanupasevate. Krishna explained very nicely. All the different senses, shotram, hearing, chakshu, seeing, sparshanam, experiencing touch, rasanam, seeing taste, granam, smelling, evacha, all these things, adhisthāya manaschāyam. Everything is centered around the mind. Vishayanupasevate. So that which actually enjoys is the mind, not the senses. So therefore, mind is better than the senses. Therefore, mind is better than the senses. So then the question naturally comes, is satisfying the mind the purpose of life? Naturally the question comes. Is satisfying mind the purpose of life? No, satisfying mind is not the purpose of life. Why satisfying mind is not the purpose of life? Manasastu para-buddhe. Intelligence is better than the mind. Why intelligence is better than the mind? Because intelligence is the reflection of the super soul. Intelligence acts like an authority. Mind says so many things. Mind says so many things. Mind has no control. Mind says so many things. Mano-rathena sati dhavato bahihi. Bhagavatam says, mano-rathena sati. This mind is like a chariot. It makes the living entity sit in the chariot. Please sit down, sir. Please sit down. The living entity all sitting in the mind. Okay, very good. Then mind is taking him. Okay, run here, run there, run here, run there. No control. No control. No control. Some object of sense is calling this side, mind is running this side. Some object of sense is calling that side, mind is running that side. No discrimination in obtaining the object of senses. Absolutely no discrimination. Just enjoy. Do whatever. Just enjoy. There is philosophy of Charvaka. If you can get ghee, beg, borrow, steal, but enjoy. Every day you should get half liter ghee. Purpose of life. Pour it in hot rice and then eat. What more you want? This is the nature of mind. The nature of mind. Simply running here, simply running there, no control. Therefore, intelligence is required. Intelligence is required. The intelligence is there to control the mind. Very nicely Prabhupada explains in one purport in second canto that how, by studying the function of intelligence, we can understand that there is super soul. Very long purport. Prabhupada explains. Very systematically he explains that how the presence of intelligence actually indicates the presence of super soul. Because the presence of intelligence gives us some sort of discrimination. Power to discriminate whether this is right thing or this is not the right thing, whether I should do it or I should not do it. Mind has no such discrimination. Nunam pramatta kurite vikarma yat indriya-prāṇa. This is mind. Definitely mind makes us mad. Nunam pramattaha. Pramattaha means mad person. Nunam pramattaha means without any doubt, definitely he is a mad person. There is no iota of doubt that he is a mad person. Nunam pramattaha. Definitely he is a mad person. Why he is a mad person? Kurite vikarma. The fellow has no discrimination of what he should do or what he should not do. Kurite vikarma. For what purpose he is doing? Yet indriya-prāṇa. Simply thinking sense gratification is purpose of life. The mind is driving him mad. He is also running like a madman. He has forgotten he is human being. Forgotten. Forgotten. Behaving like, practically like animal. Practically behaving like animal. Bhagavatam says, how people who don't use their intelligence behave. How people who don't use their intelligence, how they behave. Svavit varahostra karai. Samstuta purusha pashu. They are called purusha pashu. They are purusha. They are human being. But pashu, but animal. Why? Because they don't use their intelligence. They don't use human intelligence. They only use animal intelligence. Animal also has intelligence. Human being also has intelligence. Both of them have intelligence. But animal uses his intelligence simply driven by false ego. Dog has dog intelligence. Dog is thinking, I am dog. Bow, bow. I will use my intelligence looking at another dog. Bow, bow. So one more dog is coming. So I have to mark my territory. I will pass some urine and then mark that territory. Bow, bow. Another dog will come and it will interfere in that territory. I will go bow, 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 bow. That much is dog intelligence. So if human being is also very busy marking his territory and then doing bow, 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 he is also like dog only. Prabhupada says immigration department like dogs. Why did you come to my country? Bow, 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 bow. What is your business in this country? Bow, 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 bow. He says sadhu should be free to travel. There should be no restriction for a sadhu to travel because he is traveling for the benefit of the entire humanity. Bhagavatam very nicely said, Anugrahaya charanti nunam bhutani bhavyani janardanasya. Anugrahaya charanti. They are not simply moving here and there for the maintenance of their body. We move here and there because we want to maintain our body. Our only purpose of movement is how to maintain the body. The desire to maintain the body causes movement. Otherwise, there is no need to move. That's why one system of yoga is simply not to move, just to stay in one place. This is one system of yoga. It's called Jagara Vritti. Just stay in one place. And whatever comes to maintain the body, in that place, utilize that to maintain the body. The system of yoga. Anyway, so intelligence is better than the mind because intelligence gives discrimination. What one should do, what one should not do. Even if one has to do criminal activity, how to do without getting caught. Everything intelligence is working. Intelligence is giving some discrimination. It is creating some misapprehension. It is correcting that apprehension. It is causing some resolution of doubt. Then it causes sleep. So many different things intelligence is doing. Nicely explained by Kapiladev. So simply using intelligence is purpose of life? No. That is also not purpose of life. So, why? That is not purpose of life. Yo buddhe parasastu saha. Greater than intelligence is you, the spirit soul. Greater than intelligence is you, the spirit soul. So, the purpose of life is to simply understand our nature as spirit soul. Our nature as spirit soul. So, then Prabhupada explains that there are different paths to understand this nature. The path of yoga, the path of jnana, the path of yoga, and the path of devotional service. Sometimes it's called yoga ladder. Sometimes students study Bhagavad-gītā, first 6 chapter, and they call it as yoga ladder. That like a ladder has different steps. So the path of self-realization also has different steps. So karma is not considered. One may wonder why Prabhupada has not given karma in this list. Karma is not considered. Karma is not considered. Why? Because the purpose of karma is to give knowledge. The purpose of right activity is simply to produce knowledge. So the realization comes from the stage of knowledge. Activity is simply a tool. But sometimes, of course, Krishna explains in Bhagavad-gītā about karma yoga. There is karma yoga, there is jnana yoga, there is dhyana yoga, and then there is bhakti-yoga. It's called the yoga ladder. So by proper use of intelligence, when one is sufficiently understood and frustrated, that simply looking for sense gratification is not going to give us happiness. Is not going to give us happiness. The path of piety, even when sincerely followed, is not going to give us happiness. Even though it is promising so many nice things. It's promising so many nice things. Do Chaturmasya. Follow the Chaturmasya Vrata. Nothing better than that is there in life. Because by following Chaturmasya Vrata, you can go and you can enjoy the heavenly planets. What could be better than this? That you can sit in the gardens of Nandana Kanana, in the heavenly planet. You can watch Apsaras dancing very nicely. And you can drink Somapana. What is better than this? Nothing is better than this. This is the best. Ya imam pushpitam vacham pravadyanti avipashchitaha vedavadarata partha nanyat asti iti maninaha. That there is nothing better than this. Na anyat asti. There is nothing greater than this. Very flowery words of Vedas. That's why Krishna says, don't get attracted to this. Etate mohakalilam buddhir veditarishyati tata gantasi nirvedham shrotavyasya sutasya cha. And when you get frustrated with all sense gratification, then Upanishads are talking about impersonal Brahman. Everything is Brahman. Everything is Brahman. Think about Brahman. Don't think about matter. Don't think about body. Reject matter. Reject body. Neti, 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 neti. Not this, not this, not this, not this. Reject it. Think about Brahman. Krishna is saying, forget it. Forget it. Forget all the karma kanda, forget all the jnana kanda. You simply listen about bhakti. Tak shrunu. You listen about bhakti because directly bhakti places the spirit soul in his natural position. Rest of everything slowly brings the spirit soul to the position of bhakti. That's why it's called yoga ladder. First step karma yoga, second step jnana yoga, then dhyana yoga. First you do some activities without attachment to result. You are doing activities without attachment to result, and then suddenly you become little bit intelligent. Everybody in this world is doing activity only because of result. Everybody is doing activity in this world for what? Result only. A karma yogi is told, don't get attached to result, simply do your work. And that guy is also telling, yeah, I will do like that. Why? Because if you get attached to it, you will become miserable. So, if you want to avoid misery, you don't get attached to result, you simply do your work. Karma yogi thinks, yeah, I got the formula of how to avoid misery. I will not get attached to result, I will simply keep doing the work. After some time he thinks, oh, what kind of stupidity is this? The whole world is doing work because they want result. I don't want result, why should I do work? Why should I do work? Why am I attached to work? I should not be attached to work. Then he starts thinking, where this attachment of work has come from? Then he understands, oh, this attachment of work is come from this idea that I am this body. So by deliberation, I give up this idea that I am not this body. I should deliberate very carefully. I should give up this idea. I am not this body. I am not Brahmana, I am not Kshatriya, I am not Vaishya, I am not Shudra. All this Varnashrama, prescribed duty, everything. I should give it up. This is called Jnana Yoga. He is deliberating, and he is trying to give up all this work. Not this. And then somebody brings a gulab jamun to him and tells him, would you like to eat this gulab jamun? The guy is thinking, yeah, it's nice. Why should I not eat it? It's a good gulab jamun. Looks so nice. He's floating in the syrup. Very soft, reddish in color. Syrup is also golden color. His mouth is secreting saliva. His eyes has become very big, looking at the gulab jamun. His nose is... Then suddenly he remembers, oh, I am not this body. All this gulab jamun eating is body business. So I should control my senses. Otherwise the senses will run behind gulab jamun. And my whole life will be ruined because of gulab jamun. So how to control my senses? Okay, yama, niyama, pranayama, pratyahara. He takes shelter of Ashtanga Yoga process to control the senses, called Dhyana Yoga. Dhyana Yoga. So Karma Yoga to Jnana Yoga, Jnana Yoga to Dhyana Yoga. And then he meditate on the super soul who is 8 inches high. It's so beautiful. Very nicely is explained the beauty of the Lord. Tarunam Ramaniyangam. Simply by seeing every limb of that super soul, one can become fully satisfied. Ramaniyangam. Is so beautiful, that person, super soul, situated within the heart, 8 inches long. And then he nicely meditates on the super soul. And when he is able to control his senses and then finally able to look at the super soul, he becomes so attracted to his beauty. He is a real person. He is so beautiful. He is so nice. Can I serve him? There comes bhakti. So, ultimately, one reaches the level of bhakti. Yoginam api sarvesham madgate nantaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yo mam same yukta tamo mataha. The person who engages in bhakti is considered as the best of yogis. Best of yogis. But Krishna says in Bhagavad-gītā that you don't have to go through this. You don't have to go through this step-by-step process. You don't have to go through this. If you understand the nature of bhakti, you have to understand the nature of bhakti. If you understand the nature of bhakti, you don't have to go through this process. You may be interested in karma. You may say, I am still interested in karma. It's okay. Still you can directly come to bhakti. You may say, I don't have so much knowledge, I don't know that I am body, I am spirit, soul. I am interested in my karma. But still Krishna says, okay, you are interested in karma, but directly come to bhakti. How to directly come to bhakti? Yajñārtāt karmano nyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha tadartam karma kaunteya mukta sangha samachara. You are interested in karma? Simply do your activity to please Krishna. Yajñārtāt karma. Yajñārtāt karma. Simply do whatever activity you want to do. Atapam virtujasheshta varnashram vagashaha swanashtitasya dharmasya samsiddhir haritoshanam. Okay, you are interested in swadharma. It's okay, fine. You think, oh, I am Brahman, I am Kshatriya, I am Vaishya, I am Shudra. My identity is great identity. I am so attached to my identity. I want to do my prescribed duties. Okay, fine. Chill, cool it. Just do it to please Krishna. Samsiddhir haritoshanam. By doing it to please Krishna, you will do bhakti. Directly bhakti. One may say, no, I am not interested in all this activity. It's all low level. I have knowledge. I come to platform of jnana, I am jnani, I am jnani. I have knowledge. I am better than these karmi fellows. Yes, sir. You have jnana. You are jnani. Very good. From your level, you simply directly do bhakti. How do I do bhakti? In my level as jnani, Krishna says, Janma karma chame divyam yevam yo veti tattvataha tetva deham punarjanma naiti me itso arjuna. Vitaraga bhayak krodha manmaya mam upāshrataha bhavo jnana tapasa putamad-bhāvam agataha. You are interested in jnana and tapasa? Fine, very good. You want to give up raga, bhaya, krodha? Very good. The way to do it is to simply understand, study, understand and appreciate the nature of Krishna's activities and Krishna's appearance. Get knowledge about it. Get knowledge about Krishna's activities. Get knowledge about Krishna's appearance. Get knowledge about Krishna's pastimes. Deeply study Krishna's pastimes. Try to understand why Krishna appears. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir-bhavati bharata abhyutthanam adharmasya tadatmanam sujamaha. Whenever and wherever there is decline of dharma, dharmasya glanihi, Krishna makes appearance. What is the decline of dharma? What is the dharma Krishna is talking about? Research on that point. Try to understand what is the dharma, as explained in Srimad Bhagavatam. Savai pumsam paro dharmo ito bhakti-yoga ahaituki apratihata yayatma suprasidati. But one should understand that very dharma which Krishna wants to establish is simply pure devotional service. Study it deeply. Try to understand that why Krishna comes, why he acts, why does he take various incarnations? Ramadi murtishu kala niyamena tishtan nana avataram akaror bhuvaneshu kintu Krishna swayam samabhavat param pumanyo govindam adipurusham tamaham bhajami. Research these statements, various statements, till you reach the Supreme Personality of Godhead in each and everything. Yasmat sarvatra sarvada. This is path of knowledge. But it is directly devotional service. Because one simply studies about Krishna. One simply studies about Krishna. Or you may say, no, I am interested in yoga system. I want to become yogi. Okay, very good. You want to become yogi. You want to experience samadhi. Labdho bashanti. That state, having attained that state, one never gets disturbed. Yam labdva chaparam labam manyate nadikam tataha. There is nothing greater than this. Having obtained this state of samadhi, the yogi thinks, there is nothing greater than this. You want to attain that kind of state of peace? You want to attain peace of mind? Yes, sir, I want to attain. How will you attain? Yoginam api sarvesham madgate tantaratmana bhoktara megatapasam sarvalogha bhageshwaram sugridam sarvabhutanam nyatva mam shantim gacchati. That simply one has to understand and realize these three things. That Krishna is the enjoyer, Krishna is the controller, and Krishna is the well-wisher. By this, one can become peaceful. He can experience peace. He will not be disturbed. He will simply focus his attention on Krishna, on pleasing Krishna. Anukulyana Krishna Anusilana. Simply focus attention on pleasing Krishna. And that's bhakti. That's bhakti. So I am neither karmi, nor jnani, nor yogi. I am an ordinary person. I am an ordinary person. I am not all those exalted people. I don't know about all those things. I don't know karma, I don't know jnana, I don't know yoga, I don't know yoga ladder, I don't know all these things. I am simply an ordinary man trying to struggle for my existence. What I should do? Okay, sir, very easy. Chant Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And simply follow the instruction of a bona fide spiritual master. Forget karma, forget jnana, forget yoga, forget this, forget that. Simply chant Hare Krishna. Follow the instruction of bona fide spiritual master. Very, very easy, very simple. Krishna says there are karmis who go to jnana, the jnanis who go to yoga, the yogis who attain perfection. Is one way of doing it. The other people who are ordinary people, who don't know all these things, they also attain perfection. How do they attain perfection? Simply by agreeing to listen to a pure devotee. They attain perfection. So simply if we agree to listen to Prabhupada, simply we have to do that. We have to agree to listen to Prabhupada. We don't have to have all this exalted knowledge. No need. Simply we agree that we listen to Prabhupada. Prabhupada made this wonderful society, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Everybody can join. Dina hina jate chilo, hariname uddharilo. You're dina, you're hina, you're great intelligent, you're grateful, very rich, very poor, doesn't matter. Very pious, very impious, doesn't matter. Simply join this movement. Simply agree to listen to Srila Prabhupada. Agree to chant Hare Krishna. Agree to follow the instructions of Srila Prabhupada. By simply becoming agreeable to follow the path which is shown by pure devotee, we become eligible. This is the beauty of the Krishna conscious movement. We don't have to be someone. We don't have to be someone. In Kali Yuga, we are no one. We don't have to be someone. We don't have to be karmi. We don't have to be jnani. We don't have to be yogi. Sometimes in ISKCON, we think that karmis are crazy people. No. Karmis are all exalted people. We don't know the definition of karmi. We think that everybody is karmi. Karmi means a person who actually strictly follow the path of piety. Technically, there are no karmis in Kali Yuga. Only vikarmis are there. And we think they are karmis. They are not karmis. They are all vikarmis. Karmi means one who knows very clearly what is the path of piety. Even if he does sin, he knows what is the atonement for that sin. I have done this sin, this is the atonement for that sin. He will very strictly go and follow that atonement for that sin. He free himself from sinful reactivity. So there are no karmis in Kali Yuga. Though in ISKCON we want to call everybody as karmi. And we think that karmis are idiots. No, karmis are not idiots. They understand the path of piety. So we may not be karmi, we may not be jnani, we may not be yogi. All these things may be too much for us. It's fine, no problem. But still, we should simply agree to chant Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Simply by agreeing to chant Hare Krishna. Prabhupada says that in 4th canto, Prabhupada makes a very important statement. In 4th canto, there is Dhruva's history, and Dhruva is doing very tough austerity, very, very tough austerity. We cannot even imagine that kind of austerity. Very tough austerity. And Prabhupada says, we cannot do that kind of austerity. That austerity is meant for Dhruva, not meant for us. So Prabhupada is giving a very simple proposition to us. What is that? Very simple proposition he gives. Chant 16 round, follow 4 regulative principle, accept Krishna Prasad. It's very easy. Very, very easy. If we agree to this proposal, Prabhupada's proposal, we chant 16 round, we follow 4 regulative principle, we accept only Krishna Prasad. If we agree to this, our life will become successful. will become happy. Chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Okay, any comments, questions? Yes, sir.
So you're talking about indriyani paraniyahu, indriyapya param manaḥ, how senses are superior to dull matter. But bhumi apo nalo vayu kham mano-buddhi revacha ahankara ityam me bhanna prakriti ashtata aparayamitastvanyam prakritim vidhime param jiva-bhūta mahabaho yaedam dharyate jagat. So Krishna makes a distinction between matter and spirit, and he says matter is inferior energy and spirit soul is superior energy. Mind is also matter. The senses are also matter, because he says bhumi apo nalo vayu. So how do we understand, because I understand I have a mind and it's thinking, feeling, but it's dull matter actually. Mind is also sukshma matter, it's subtle matter. So it's all in the category of matter, and then there is the soul which is superior. But then we have this verse that the mind is superior to the senses and intelligence is superior to the mind and the soul is superior. So you would like to shed some thought on that?
So, subtle is better than gross. It is very simple. Subtle is better than gross. So, in that sense, matter is gross, mind is subtle, but mind is the grossest of the subtle. Intelligence is subtler than the mind, and false ego is the subtlest of the all. So, the subtle is better than the gross. That's it. From that sense, that hierarchy.
But in one sense, it doesn't think on its own until the soul is there. The mind is activated because of.
Yeah, of course. It's matter, no. Matter needs the touch of soul to get activated. Matter will not activate on its own. But the hierarchy comes from the idea that the subtle is better than gross. So that's how the hierarchy is. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Is anybody there?
Oh.
Prabhuji, you mentioned about controlling complexes. From my experience, I tried a lot to control the complexes, but then I realized that I cannot control. Maybe I'm lacking something, What I found that instead of controlling the complexes, if I divert my complexes to the right direction, that helps me more. Because if I try to control it, then I'm not the same person what I am like. I'm trying to pretend to be a different person.
Yes.
So I'm just thinking whether I'm thinking the right way or is something wrong or I'm lacking something.
No, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong. Whatever you're telling is correct. You cannot control your desire. You cannot control your complexes. You can only divert them. So that is what bhakti-yoga is all about. Bhakti-yoga is diverting them towards Krishna. It's not that I should not eat gulab jamun. I should simply eat gulab jamun which is offered to Krishna. So eating gulab jamun is not prohibited. Or looking at gulab jamun and feeling happy is not prohibited. I can feel happy seeing gulab jamun. I can eat it also. But the only condition is it should be offered to Krishna. So when we are diverting our desire, it's not about diverting our desire anywhere. Sometimes people think that you just divert your desire anywhere, it's all right. It's not about diverting our desire anywhere. Sometimes there is some crazy philosophy, jatomat tatopat. It's not like that. It's about specifically diverting everything towards Krishna. Anukulyena Krishnana Silanam. It's about specifically diverting everything towards Krishna. So if you are able to divert everything for Krishna's satisfaction, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, this nice verse, Atmendriya priti vancha tare balikama, Krishnendriya priti icha dhare premanama. So instead of doing activities to please the senses, if we simply try to do activities to please Krishna's senses, or to fulfill the instruction of the spiritual master, which is both non-different. Pleasing Krishna's senses and fulfilling the order of the spiritual master is non-different from each other. So if we try to do that, then naturally everything is controlled, rather than trying to artificially control through the process of jnana or through the process of yoga, mind control, transcendental meditation, everything is nonsense. We should simply try to engage ourselves in bhakti, in serving Krishna, in serving Krishna's instruction. Anukulyena Krishna Anusilanam. Practically, it means Hrishikena, Hrishikesa Sevanam Bhaktiruchyate. By senses, one should try to serve the master of senses. But if you try to do that, then everything is naturally controlled, everything is naturally, properly channelized. Everything is all right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam. Prabhu, we are not body but we are a spirit soul. So long as we are in the body, struggle for existence, for survival. Secondly, with intelligence feel that we spirit soul, if something goes wrong to the body, is it possible for tolerance and bear the circumstances? How far the intelligence will be fetches? In what way the intelligence fetches?
No, always things are going wrong with the body because body is aging. Aging is a process of going wrong.
Yes.
Because soul doesn't age. Soul has no old age. Soul has no birth. Soul has no death. So the moment you have body, that means everything is going wrong from beginning to end. And by intelligence, we should understand that everything is going wrong from beginning to end. And as long as it is there, try to utilize it for Krishna's service. That's what we can do. That's what we can do. But it is not that something has to go wrong. Already it has gone wrong. That the soul accepting the material body is a symptom that something has already gone wrong. So nothing has to go wrong new. This is a misconception. That I have a body, now something has to go wrong in this body. It's a misconception. That I have a body itself means that something has gone wrong. I am not supposed to have the body. I am having this body. And what is the nature of this body? Nature of the body is exactly opposite to the nature of the spirit soul. So will I stay in something which is completely opposite in nature to me? That I am forced to stay in something which is completely opposite nature to me means everything has gone wrong. So this is the biggest thing that we need to understand. When Prabhupada is saying you are not this body, that's what he is trying to teach us. That already things have gone wrong with you. There is nothing that newly something has to go wrong. We always think like this. We think that what comes to the body is a problem. Corona aa gaya, ye problem hai. No, what comes to the body is not a problem. Body itself is the problem. What comes to the body is just secondary to having the body. We are not supposed to have the body. Na sadhu manye yata atmanoyam asannata piklesha asadekha. So it's not that we have to wait with intelligence that okay, something will go wrong, now I'll use my intelligence. Already everything has gone wrong. That the soul has accepted material body, everything has gone wrong. Then now what more can go wrong? Everything has gone wrong. Already the calamity has happened. One should use intelligence to understand this. Not that some calamity will come and then we will use our intelligence to tolerate that calamity. The calamity has already happened. That is the point. I think we should stop here. Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur